Have you ever noticed how your mind feels clear in the morning, steady through the afternoon, and then, as evening arrives, something shifts? Your thoughts slow down. Words feel harder to find. Simple things suddenly take more effort. If this sounds familiar, you're not imagining it, and you're certainly not alone. Many adults notice this pattern as they get older. You wake up feeling sharp, stay focused through the day, and then by nightfall, the clarity fades. You set something down and can't remember where. You walk into a room and pause, unsure why you went there. Mid-sentence, your train of thought quietly disappears. Most people are told this is just aging. But that explanation misses something important. In the evening, your brain isn't failing, it's preparing to recover. As the day winds down, the brain begins shifting into a repair and reset mode, getting ready for sleep. And for that process to work properly, it needs specific nutrients to be available. When those nutrients are low, the brain can't fully support short-term memory and mental clarity. The result isn't exhaustion or disease, it's that familiar foggy feeling that shows up night after night. And here's the part that surprises most people. The answer isn't a new pill, an expensive supplement, or a rare superfood from across the world. The solution is simple. It involves 3 everyday foods, foods you've probably eaten your entire life, used at the right time and in the right way to support your brain as it prepares for rest. When that support is in place, evenings don't have to feel confusing or frustrating. They can feel calm, clear, and mentally steady, just like the rest of your day. For more than 3 decades, I've worked closely with older adults who felt their minds were slowly slipping away. Not suddenly, but quietly. Memory feeling less reliable. Focus fading faster than it used to. Mental energy running out long before the day does. And over the years, one truth has become very clear to me. The body cannot rebuild what it is not being nourished with. The brain is no different. When it doesn't receive the support it needs, it slows down. But when you give it the right building blocks, gently and consistently, the brain has an incredible ability to recover. Not forcefully. Not overnight. But naturally. That's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. Nothing extreme. Nothing artificial. Just simple, supportive steps you can begin tonight. And if this is your first time here, welcome. This is Vital Health, a place where we focus on practical, evidence-based habits that support the body as it ages, without hype or pressure. I'd be glad to have you join us. Now, let's come back to your brain. Your brain doesn't slow down simply because of age. It slows down when it's overlooked. Think of it this way, you wouldn't expect a car to run smoothly for years without regular care. Yet many of us expect our minds to stay sharp while quietly missing the nutrients that help repair and reset the brain during sleep. That repair process happens at night. But only if the right materials are available. In the next few minutes, I'll share 3 specific foods, all egg and dairy-based, that support brain cell maintenance, neurotransmitter balance, and memory function while you rest. These foods are gentle, familiar, and especially supportive after 60. And the best part? You don't need to buy anything special. They're already part of most kitchens, just used with better timing and intention. Let's begin with a part of the egg many people have learned to avoid. The yolk. For years, egg yolks were treated like something dangerous. Too heavy. Too rich. Something to cut out, especially as we get older. But for the aging brain, that golden center is not something to fear. It's something to use. Egg yolks are one of nature's richest sources of choline, a nutrient your brain depends on every single day. Choline isn't optional. It's a basic building block. Your brain uses choline to produce acetylcholine, a chemical messenger that plays a key role in memory, learning, and focus. As we age, acetylcholine levels naturally decline. And when they drop too low, brain cells struggle to communicate clearly with each other. That's when thoughts start to feel slower. Words take longer to come. Focus slips away, especially in the evening. At first, it's subtle. Forgetting a word here and there. Walking into a room and pausing, unsure why you went there. Over time, that mental haze becomes more familiar, and more frustrating. Research has consistently shown that older adults who consume more choline tend to maintain better memory and faster mental processing. Not because of medication, but because their brains are better supported nutritionally. But choline is only part of the story. Egg yolks are also rich in phospholipids, compounds your brain uses to maintain and repair the outer layers of nerve cells. You can think of them as protective insulation. When that insulation weakens, signals don't travel as smoothly. When it's supported, communication becomes clearer and more efficient, something the brain needs more of after 60. There's also lutein, a nutrient most people associate with eye health. What's less known is that lutein also concentrates in the brain. There, it helps protect brain cells from everyday oxidative stress and supports cognitive clarity as we age. This isn't abstract science. I've seen the difference it makes. One patient, Linda, had avoided egg yolks for years because she thought she was doing the right thing. But her evenings were becoming harder. She lost focus mid-conversation. Simple tasks felt mentally tiring. I suggested something small, adding one soft-boiled egg yolk to dinner a few times a week. Within weeks, she noticed a change. Her thoughts felt calmer. Words came more easily. Conversations flowed without effort again. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't instant. And it wasn't magic. It was repair, quiet, steady, and completely natural. If you'd like to give your brain that same kind of support, there's no need to overdo it. Start gently. One whole egg with your evening meal is enough. Whenever possible, choose a soft-boiled or poached egg. These methods help preserve the choline and healthy fats that the brain benefits from most. Scrambled eggs are fine as well, just keep the heat low. The goal is nourishment, not overcooking. You don't need to eat eggs every day. 3 to 4 evenings a week is plenty. What matters more than frequency is consistency, giving your brain a steady, reliable supply of the compounds it uses to reset and recover overnight. If digestion tends to be sensitive in the evening, try pairing the egg with a small portion of leafy greens or lightly steamed vegetables. This can make the meal feel lighter and easier on the stomach before sleep. There's nothing trendy about this. No superfood promises. No complicated rules. It's simply understanding how the brain works, and supporting it with familiar foods, used thoughtfully, at the right time. For decades, egg yolks were misunderstood. Yet inside that golden center is one of nature's quiet tools for brain repair, especially after 60. As evening arrives and the body begins to slow down, egg yolks deliver the raw materials the brain needs to maintain clarity and protect long-held memories. Not to change who you are, but to help you stay who you are. That's what real brain nourishment looks like. And once your neurons start receiving that message, there's another layer of support to consider. Because while egg yolks help rebuild, the next food helps calm. It signals the nervous system that it's safe to relax, restore, and prepare the brain for memory consolidation. That food is milk. There's a reason so many people once ended their day with a warm glass of milk. Long before research could explain it, the body already understood its effect. Milk has a unique way of communicating with the nervous system, gently encouraging the brain to slow down and settle. At first glance, milk seems simple. Just protein, fat, and natural carbohydrates. But within that simplicity is a carefully balanced combination of compounds that work in sync with the brain's nighttime recovery process. This becomes especially important after 60, when hormone production naturally declines and neural repair becomes more sensitive to disruption. One key component is tryptophan, an amino acid found naturally in milk. The body uses tryptophan to produce serotonin and melatonin. Serotonin supports emotional balance and cognitive steadiness. Melatonin helps regulate sleep timing and depth. Together, they create the chemical environment needed for calm thinking and stable memory formation. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at converting tryptophan into these compounds. That's one reason sleep may feel lighter, more fragmented, and why memory can feel less reliable the next day. When milk is consumed in the evening, it delivers tryptophan at exactly the moment the brain is preparing to enter its deeper stages of rest. Research has shown that certain milk-derived peptides can support more efficient non-REM sleep, the phase most closely associated with brain detoxification and memory organization. This is the stage where the brain quietly sorts the day. What to keep, what to let go, and what needs repair. By supporting deeper, more stable sleep, milk helps create the internal conditions your brain needs to protect clarity, not just overnight, but over time. Milk does more than support better sleep. It also helps maintain the physical structure of the brain itself. One of milk's primary proteins is casein. Unlike fast-digesting proteins, casein breaks down slowly. This creates a steady release of amino acids through the night, exactly when the brain is in repair mode. Among those amino acids is glutamine, which plays an important role in neurotransmitter balance and brain immune support. Glutamine is also used by the brain to help produce GABA, a calming chemical messenger that quiets excessive neural activity. As we get older, GABA levels naturally decline. When that happens, the mind can feel restless. Thoughts race. Memory feels fragmented. Sleep becomes lighter and less restorative. Supporting this calming pathway helps the brain slow down enough to recover. Milk fat matters here as well. Often overlooked, the natural fat in milk contains phospholipids and sphingomyelin, two compounds that help form and protect the outer membranes of brain cells. These membranes are essential for clear, efficient communication between neurons. As neurons age, their membranes tend to stiffen. Signals travel more slowly, and cells become more vulnerable to stress. But when the body has access to the right building materials, it can continue maintaining and repairing those membranes, even later in life. Research has shown that regular intake of whole milk components may support synaptic function and mental flexibility in older adults. This isn't about stimulation. It's about preservation, keeping communication lines clear and resilient. That's why the type of milk matters. Skim milk removes the very fats that support brain repair. Whole milk, ideally organic, provides the full range of nutrients the brain uses for structural maintenance. That fat isn't harmful. For the brain, it's fuel. A warm glass in the evening is enough. About 1 to 2 hours before bed works well. There's no need to add sugar. If you like, a small touch of cinnamon or vanilla is fine, just keep it simple. Milk doesn't work loudly. It doesn't promise instant results. It works quietly, by creating the conditions for deeper rest, steadier thinking, and long-term clarity. It helps the brain feel safe enough to heal. You don't need sleeping pills. You need nourishment. Egg yolks help rebuild the brain's structure. Milk helps restore its natural rhythm. And there's one final food that brings these two processes together, supporting both stability and repair as you sleep. That food is cheese. This often surprises people. One of the most calming, brain-supportive foods for older adults isn't new or exotic. It's familiar. It's been around for generations. The key is choosing real cheese, aged, cultured, and naturally made. Not processed slices or heavily altered products, but simple, traditional cheese with intact nutrients. For years, cheese has been criticized for its fat or salt. But when used thoughtfully, especially in the evening, it can become one of the most effective ways to help the aging brain settle and recover overnight. What makes cheese unique is its combination of slow-digesting proteins and natural fats. As cheese is digested, it releases small protein fragments, often called peptides, that interact with the brain's calming pathways. These peptides support the activity of GABA, the neurotransmitter that helps quiet excessive brain activity. You can think of GABA as the brain's internal volume control. When GABA levels are low, the mind feels restless. Thoughts jump from one to another. Sleep becomes lighter, and memory doesn't settle properly. But when GABA activity is supported, the brain relaxes. Focus steadies. Sleep deepens. And memories are more likely to be stored and protected. Research has shown that certain peptides found in aged cheeses can support this calming effect by interacting with GABA receptors. For older adults, this gentle quieting of the nervous system in the evening plays an important role in emotional balance and memory formation. This isn't about eating large amounts. A small portion, eaten slowly, is enough to signal the brain that it's time to unwind. Cheese doesn't stimulate. It stabilizes. And when the brain feels calm and supported, it can finally do what it's designed to do at night: restore, organize, and protect the clarity you rely on every day. Cheese offers more than calm, it also supports the strength and flexibility of brain cells. Real cheese contains natural saturated fats and cholesterol, both of which play an essential role in maintaining the structure of neurons. That can sound controversial, but there's an important context many people miss: the human brain is largely made of fat. As we move past 60, the body becomes less efficient at producing and renewing these lipids on its own. When dietary support is too low, the outer membranes of brain cells can lose flexibility. Communication slows. Signals become less reliable. And the brain becomes more vulnerable to stress. When the right fats are present, those membranes stay responsive. Messages travel more smoothly. Memory feels steadier. Research has shown that older adults who include moderate amounts of full-fat cheese tend to perform better on tasks involving memory and word recall. These benefits are linked to healthier lipid composition in the hippocampus, the area of the brain most closely tied to learning and memory. I've seen this play out in real life as well. One patient, Walter, had become more irritable in the evenings and often struggled to recall simple details. I suggested something modest: a small piece of aged cheese after dinner, paired with a slice of fruit. Nothing complicated. Within a few weeks, his wife noticed a change. His sleep improved. His mood felt steadier. And he was more present, even remembering the stories shared before bedtime. That's the quiet strength of cheese. You don't need much. About 1 ounce of real cheese, cheddar, Gouda, Swiss, or Parmesan, provides meaningful amounts of calming peptides and brain-supportive fats. More isn't better. In fact, excess can work against you. What matters is quality and consistency. Choose naturally aged cheeses without added fillers or heavy processing. Avoid ultra-processed versions. The goal is to support the brain, not burden digestion. Pairing. Cheese with a small piece of fruit or a few whole grain crackers can make it easier to digest and prevent heaviness in the evening. The balance of protein and natural fat slows absorption, helping neurotransmitters stay steady through the night. When mental clarity begins to feel fragile, many people reach for pills. But often, the body isn't asking for stimulation. It's asking for restoration. Cheese helps the brain settle. It supports sleep. It protects structure. And in doing so, it reminds the nervous system that it's safe to repair. This isn't about indulgence. It's about intention. When you understand food, it becomes more than nourishment, it becomes therapy. With just 3 simple ingredients, egg yolks, milk, and cheese, you can create a powerful foundation for your brain's nightly recovery. Now that you know what your brain truly needs, the next step is turning that knowledge into something real. Something you can do. Something you can feel. The good news is that this doesn't require a brand new routine. It's about adjusting what you already do, gently, wisely, intentionally. Start with your evening meal. Keep it balanced, not too heavy, not too late. Give your digestive system 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. This creates space for your brain to focus on healing, not just digestion. About 90 minutes before sleep, choose one of the 3 brain-supporting foods. Egg yolk. If you haven't had eggs during the day, a soft-boiled or lightly scrambled egg provides choline and phospholipids right when your brain is preparing for deep consolidation. 1 egg is enough, keep it light. Milk. On another night, warm a small glass of whole milk. Sip slowly, letting the tryptophan and peptides gently signal to your nervous system, relax, repair, restore. Cheese. 2 or 3 nights a week, enjoy a small slice of real cheese, about 1 ounce. Pair it with a few bites of fruit to balance the sugars and support digestion. This delivers GABA-supporting compounds and healthy fats, encouraging calm and steady memory processing. You don't need to use all 3 foods every night. What matters most is rhythm, gentle cycles of support that tell your brain the same message over and over again. You are safe. You are not too old. You are not broken. You are healing. This plan is forgiving. Miss one night? Start again tomorrow. Do half of it? Your brain still notices. It's not about perfection. It's about providing the raw tools quietly, consistently, and with care. You have more control than you think. By supporting your mind while you sleep, you are not just resting, you are rebuilding. Tonight, take a simple action, a yolk, a glass of milk, or a small bite of cheese. Not as a snack. Not as a treat. But as a message to your brain, you are safe. It's time to remember who you are. If you've made it this far, thank you. Not just for watching, but for caring enough about your own mind to give it another chance. For over 30 years, I've sat across from people who thought it was too late, who believed their brains had passed some invisible point of no return. But memory doesn't vanish overnight. Clarity doesn't disappear suddenly. It fades slowly, quietly, when the brain hasn't been nourished the way it needs. Now you know how to change that. Egg yolks rebuild. Milk calms. Cheese protects. No trends. No expensive supplements. No complicated plans. What your brain needs has been on your plate all along, waiting to be understood. You are not broken. You are not beyond help. You just need the right tools, and now you have them. Tonight can feel different. Not just quieter, but steadier, stronger, more grounded, more you. If this video helped, even in a small way, support the message. Tap like. Share it with a friend who may be quietly struggling. Subscribe to Vital Health for more simple, science-backed guidance. And before you go, leave a comment. What did you find most helpful? What would you like us to explore next? Your story might be the light someone else is searching for. Rest well. Your brain deserves it.